If parenting feels harder than ever right now, you're not imagining it. You're not failing, you're just overwhelmed, and your nervous system is too. So, modern parenting isn't exactly fun at times. Why does parenting feel so hard right now? Why are 48% of parents in the US, according to the US Surgeon General, super overwhelmed? And I think there are a lot of reasons. Modern parenting demands are more than ever from, busy schedules, double working parents, we're away from families, we're parenting our kids and helping. We're the sandwich generation. We're helping our parents. We have a lot of screen stress. So, screens become this something that helps us and hurts us in our own lives, in our own work, but also we think our kids benefit from it because they're seen and not heard, but in the end, it dysregulates them. Another reason is parents are very isolated. There's a whole lot less community and a whole lot more responsibility. Where I live, I don't know my neighbors. Like, I had one neighbor who would help me out, Tracy, and she moved to Kentucky. Love you, Tracy. Miss ya. We just, don't connect, right? And the reason why I don't know my neighbors, well, you're going to learn about them in my book, but I don't go to public school, so we're not out there. They weren't very nice to me on the bus stop anyway, so we'll see what happens because I had a dysregulated kid. But we need more connection. And that chronic stress is dysregulating our nervous systems. And as I talk about with our kids as well, and we're not really getting a reprieve. And when your brain gets stuck in survival mode, it's just harder to stay patient, calm, consistent, present. And it feeds itself into this negative cycle, right? This is all these demands of modern parenting, right? And of course, in all of this, we all seem to have at least one kid who's uniquely wired, right? And that's not a bad thing. We love them, but it just means that they might need more instruction or more patience from us. And as they're learning, their ability to regulate and learn to do that is just longer, right? It has its own timeline. We don't really have a perfect awareness or a conscious awareness of the exact timeline of when people regulate. We have certain developmental milestones, but all kids can regulate, even the most dysregulated one. It just might take 3 times as long or 5 times as long as their sibling or whatever it is. So it's just another stressor. What's happening in your brain as a parent in these modern times where you're feeling overwhelmed? Your stress is activating your fight, flight, freeze, and fawn responses. So your nervous system moves into a regular sympathetic dominant state. So it's always in this hyper awareness, hyper activation. And that means cortisol and adrenaline are flooding your system. Like I always say, it's like you're feeling jacked up and you don't even know why, right? And when that happens, there are certain reflexes that happen sort of automatically. One is your executive functioning is going to shut down. You lose access to self control, logical thinking. This is why you flip out when your kid flips out, right? If you're not pausing, moving away, and taking your breath, you're moving into that. This isn't bad parenting, it's biology, but you can put a brakes on this. This does not have to just be like, oh, forget it. I'm so stressed out. Look, it gives me an excuse. No, right? That's what we do all these things. You can reset to regulate. You need regulation because dysregulated brain can't parent a dysregulated child. Let me say that again. You need regulation because a dysregulated brain can't parent a dysregulated child. This is why typical parenting advice just isn't working when your dysregulated child's dysregulated because consistency and this type of discipline when you're in a survival mode is just not going to be possible for you to access. Just stay calm doesn't teach you how to regulate, and dysregulation really makes that connection between the discipline and the behavioral learning. It's just going to make it a lot harder for your child, for yourself. Most parenting advice isn't really considering what the parent is feeling. And let's be honest, right? This is what is happening in the world. We have 50% of parents that are overwhelmed and 41 so overwhelmed that they feel immobilized. I remember a parent saying to me recently, I'm surprised it's not more than that. Who knows? So what do we do instead? You're stuck. I'm so distressed. I'm so exhausted. I'm so overwhelmed. I'm not sure what to do. Okay, you're here. You're listening. So we listen. And then, as Philomena would say, we move our coolie. Okay. We don't just sit in our worry and our overwhelm. We take micro steps, because micro steps is really where the change starts to happen. We regulate first. Calm must come before you try to correct and support your child. You've got to regulate yourself. You don't have to be perfect, but you need to do some things. Small nervous resets like breath work, postural shifts, stepping away, nature walks, different types of techniques, my heart hugs, 4-7-8 breaths, all different things. I like to do a lot of tapping. I like to do a lot of disruption, humming, cold water on the back of the neck. These are all things that help. And most importantly, stepping away. Pause. Do not go in hot, because your dysregulation is only going to serve to increase theirs. Your calm presence will calm them. Yeah. And these things don't work like magic. It's not like you walk in and you're super chill and you're like, well, my kid should be super chill. It's going to take a little time. Your kid might be jacked up too. Over time, the nervous system will model for your child's nervous system that safety, that regulation. What's your action step this week? Because maybe this is really resonating with you. And please know that Dr. Rowe has been here herself, and there's times when I feel it creeping up, I have to reset. I want you to keep a little journal, get out your phone, put it in your notes section. I actually have a book. I'm going to show it to you. And I love to take notes. And I actually date it. And behind me in here is I use these all the time. Every 2 or 3 months, I replace it because I fill it up. But I love handwriting notes. There's something about it makes me feel good. So I would write this down. So ask yourself, why do I feel dysregulated today? You might not know the answer, and that's okay. Because if you're moving into a sympathetic dominant state, it's going to be like this all the time. You're not going to really know. But you'll start to, when you over time, what did I notice in my body? Was my chest tight? Did I have a headache? Did the lights bother me? What is it? And then what helped me calm down, if anything? Let's put down healthy and unhealthy things, right? Because I know I think the average person is drinking 3 drinks a night, okay? I have 2, we're in trouble, okay? It's what happens in perimenopause. You try to drink and you can't. I'm not giving up completely the wine. It's not happening. It's part of the DNA. And Tony still makes it. I mean, come on. It's good stuff too. And then think to yourself, what would I do differently next time, right? So we have to put our detective hats on for ourselves and get quiet and pay attention. And maybe you need to write it down and reflect. And certainly if you're struggling with this, if you need more help, you can go to our solution matcher, and you can go to drroseann.com/help. It's going to guide you to the right solution for where you're at. It's just 2 or 3 minutes. It's really easy. And then you'll get free resources that I know you'll take action on. Remember, you got to move your coolie, right? And just know you're not a bad parent. You're a stressed parent in a stressed world. And tools help when you use them, right? Start with one breath, one moment of calm, and know that regulation is the foundation of real change.
Want more insights and solutions? Well, subscribe to our Dysregulation Insider, and it will show up in your inbox every week.